China just launched its most ambitious project yet, the colossal aircraft carrier, Fujian.
Clocking in at nearly 80,000 metric tons, it joins the elite club of supercarriers, with the United States Navy only being the sole operator of larger aircraft carriers.
But can this newcomer truly challenge the established dominance of the U.S. Navy's Ford class?
Let us dissect these titans, from aircraft capacity to radar tech, to see who reigns supreme.
But wait, there is more.
At the end, we will also explore whether this newcomer can stand toe-to-toe with not only the mighty US Navy's carriers but also those of India, France, and the UK's. The surprising fact might change your entire perspective on China's carrier ambitions. So, stay tuned, because this clash of the carriers might not be what you expect. Right from the start, a significant disparity emerges: displacement. The Ford class boasts a massive 100,000 plus tons compared to the Fujian's 80,000 tons.
This translates into a clear edge for the US in terms of aircraft capacity.
The Ford boasts a whopping 74 aircraft capacity, with a typical air wing of 48 dedicated strike aircraft, electronic warfare specialists, and E-2D Hawkeye for early warning. The Fujian, on the other hand, can muster around 40 strike aircraft, with the exact number potentially limited by its Catabar system's functionality.
The colossal USS Gerald R. Ford is a launching pad for aerial dominance.
Its air wing bristles with the most advanced fighters on the planet, the F/A-18E and F/A-18F Super Hornet, a multi-role marvel, and the F-35C Lightning II, a stealthy harbinger of next-generation warfare. The Ford's air wing is not just a collection of planes, it is a symphony of cutting-edge technology. These fighters can disappear from radar, strike with pinpoint accuracy from incredible distances, and carry a devastating arsenal. This translates to unmatched versatility and potency, allowing the Ford to dominate any airspace it enters.
China's Fujian carrier, while a formidable force, might find itself outmatched in the aerial arena.
The Shenyang J-15, its primary fighter, based on Russian Su-33, simply does not pack the same bite. It is a generation behind the American jets, lacking the edge in stealth, range, payload capacity, and sensor integration.
Imagine a duel between a sleek, high-tech Predator and a formidable, but slightly outdated, adversary. The outcome seems clear. Endurance is another crucial factor.
The Ford uses its two Bechdel A-1B inbuilt nuclear reactors, granting it near unlimited range and the ability to stay on station for extended periods. The Fujian, however, relies on conventional fuel, potentially limiting its operational flexibility and requiring more frequent refueling stops. The Ford uses an InSpy 3X band multifunction radar and an InSpy 4S band volume search radar. Specific details about the Fujian's radar systems are not readily available, however the probable radar system that China could employ on the Fujian is the Type 346 active electronically scanned array radar, which is the most advanced radar system available with China. While both radars excel in their respective areas, the InSpy 3's longer operational history and proven track record give it an edge in terms of reliability and performance. Additionally, its integration with other US Navy systems enhances interoperability and mission effectiveness. The Fujian features an electromagnetic catapult system like the US Navy's Ford-class carriers. It is the second in the world, after the Ford, to possess such technology. But the Fujian only has 3 launch tracks, compared to the Ford's 4. The US Navy also has more experience operating and refining MALS technology, potentially leading to smoother launches and faster cycle times.
But still, on paper, the Fujian holds its ground surprisingly well.
Its sleek lines and advanced radar systems speak of a nation determined to challenge the established order. Its J-15 fighters, nicknamed Flying Sharks, are no slouches, packing a respectable punch. Yet, beneath this veneer lies a crucial disparity: experience. The Chinese carrier program faces a notable challenge in mastering 24-hour flight operations, a capability crucial for sustained naval aviation missions. Reports from the U.S. Naval Institute indicate that the Chinese Shandong carrier, currently operational, has struggled to achieve a full 24-hour flight operations cycle. Instead, it has managed only a 16-hour cycle, falling short of the operational tempo maintained by U.S. carriers. This discrepancy in flight operations is significant, as it impacts the carrier's ability to maintain continuous combat air patrol, reconnaissance, and probing missions.
Chinese carrier operational experience is relatively limited, primarily centered around their two operational carriers, the Liaoning and the Shandong. The Liaoning, acquired unfinished from Ukraine, shares similarities with the troubled Admiral Kuznetsov, widely regarded as one of the worst carriers in history. While the Liaoning doesn't suffer from all the issues plaguing its Russian counterpart, it still falls short of being a reliable combat vessel. With only these two carriers in operation, the People's Liberation Army Navy plan is still grappling with fundamental carrier design and operational lessons. The Fujian represents another step in this learning process, but it will likely take years to overcome operational hurdles and refine its capabilities. The transition to catabar operations poses further challenges, as the full implications of catapult-assisted launches on aircraft performance remain to be seen. The Chinese carrier currently lacks the capability to even match the French carrier Charles de Gaulle, and the root of this discrepancy lies not in the vessel itself, but rather in its air wing. Catabar operations demand a substantial investment in pilot training to maintain sharp skills. Without this, there is a risk of losing up to 10% of launched planes to landing mishaps, even in favorable weather conditions, as was the case with the Admiral Kuznetsov during its deployment in support of operations in Syria. Moreover, the maintenance and protocols associated with catapult and arrestor wire technology demand meticulous attention. As history has shown, becoming a proficient carrier force requires more than just espionage or imitation. It demands years of hands-on experience and meticulous development. Take, for example, the U.S. Navy's journey with the Ford class, the first new carrier class in half a century. Despite their extensive knowledge and institutional expertise in carrier operations, it still took them considerable time to iron out the kinks and fully integrate this state-of-the-art design into combat readiness. Similarly, the Royal Navy's Queen Elizabeth class faced its own challenges before achieving operational status. In contrast, China lacks the deep institutional knowledge and experience in carrier operations enjoyed by the US and UK. Their experience primarily revolves around two carriers based on outdated Soviet designs, the Liaoning and the Shandong. Attempting to leapfrog to a full catabar supercarrier like the Fujian without this foundational expertise is a daunting task. It is likely to take China the better part of this decade to address the myriad technical and operational challenges and bring such a vessel into service. Moreover, in the current landscape, China's carrier capabilities are far from being on par with those of established naval powers. They currently lack the capability to challenge even India's two carriers, let alone a US carrier group. India, with 5 decades of carrier operations under its belt, holds a significant advantage in this regard. Thus, while China's aspirations are ambitious, the reality of achieving true carrier capability remains a formidable undertaking that will require time, patience, and extensive development.